Hey there, my Caminos are different. I get it. Now, by the way, for the very first time, I'm shooting in 4K, 30p, 10-bit, 422 in S-Log 3. Why? Because I can. For this kind of content, absolutely overkill and unnecessary. And I got no clue of color grading at all. Might be interesting. Now, when you're new in the Camino business and you're walking, let's say, your first Camino, and you come to my channel in order to find answers or gather some information, you most likely are disappointed. I feel you, because that's a service that I don't offer. Now, the Camino itself, especially when you walk it for the first time, is an exhausting, challenging, and overwhelming experience for body, mind, soul. And the Camino brings you to your limits and beyond. Ultrea et sucea. Now, apart from some physical challenges, you don't see anything of that in my videos. Well, that's for a reason. I've now walked 7 Caminos. I cannot pretend that it's my first one. That's not possible. When I started vlogging on the Camino, has already been my 5th Camino. And what most people forget, or let's say don't take into account, there has been times when I walked the first Camino as well. Was that a sentence? I don't know, but you know what I want to tell you. When I walked my first Camino, I was mentally, emotionally, spiritually completely broken. Broken, not broke. And it took me 2 entire Caminos, 2015 and 2016, for me to realize that there's something going wrong, to understand what's going wrong, and to change. So I haven't always been like this. And my first Caminos will look completely different and have been walked by a completely different person. And now, after 8 years, I'm self-confident, I know my worth, I'm happy, and I live a good life. That's what the Camino did to me, and that's what the Camino can do to you. Am I satisfied? Of course not. Satisfaction is a state like perfection. Doesn't exist. You'll never be satisfied. But I'm happy. Now, when you come to my channel, I don't want to be identified as a teacher or a mentor or consultant or whatever. I cannot be, and I don't want to be. When somebody asks me a particular question, of course, he gets an answer. But I always say, this is my opinion, this is my experience. I don't know if it'll work for you. And I don't run around and tell people what they have to do or what not to do to be a real pilgrim or whatever, like some of my fellow pilgrims do, because I don't care. And I think it's wrong. You have to find your own way. You have to make your own mistakes, because only from mistakes you learn. What I often do is, I observe, sit on the bench in the garden with my beer, and I watch. And I think by myself, oh boy, there's so much left to learn for you. But that's it. And then I leave them alone. And that's the entire point. You don't learn anything if you follow my way. Because it's my way. It's not yours. We're completely different individuals. You know, on my Camino I met, I think, 4 subscribers. And 2 of them said, "Thank you so much, was very helpful. I learned so much from your videos." And I said, "Thank you, appreciate it. But that was not my intention." Sounds awkward. Now don't get me wrong. When you find something useful or helpful in my videos, I'm very happy. But I understand my videos mainly for entertainment purposes. I want to document what I am doing, and I don't want to transport the sensation of what I'm doing is right. Most of the time it's not. But, and that's the beautiful thing of the Camino, every time you learn something, you will never get to the point where you can say, I've seen everything. There's nothing left to learn for me here. No. Every time something happens, you find something unusual, you lose your track. Now, my advantage is, of course, I've been in many different situations. I've seen many different places, and I somehow know how to avoid certain type of situations, or I know which places to avoid and which places are nice to stay. That's an awesome feeling, because I can enjoy my Camino in a different way now. Now, to sum it all up, I also walked my first Camino, and I had a lot of BS and traumas to work on. But I'm finished with that. There's nothing left to confess. There's nothing left to regret. I found my inner self. I made peace with me, with my past, and with everyone who participated in it. And I'm happy. And that's why I walk my Caminos differently. Oof. What do you think? Anyway, today is Friday evening. I will upload this video, I think, tomorrow before noon. And on Sunday, we'll figure out who has won the Canon ESM50 vlogger set. So far, stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned, and buen camino.